Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make Raspberry Rally Girl Scout cookies. For those of you who don't know, this is a new flavor that came out last year in 2023. They were so popular, they sold out very fast, and they no longer sold them this year. So it's great that we can now make them at home. They are similar to the Thin Mints, but are flavored with raspberry instead of mint. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I already showed how to make homemade Thin Mints, tagalongs or peanut butter patties, and Samoas or caramel delights. I'll put links to those videos in the description box if you haven't seen them. Let's get started. First, in a food processor or blender, add in the freeze-dried raspberries and blend them until they're a fine powder. Add it into the bowl of a stand mixer or a large bowl, and you can mix it by hand with a wooden spoon. Add in the flour, powdered sugar, and salt. Whisk them until combined. Then add the softened butter and raspberry extract, and mix it on low until it all comes together into a dough. Wrap the dough in plastic wrap and refrigerate it for at least an hour or even overnight until it's well chilled. Remove the chilled dough from the fridge and let it sit at room temperature for at least 30 minutes to let it soften a little so it's easier to roll out. Then preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Cut the dough in half. Place one half onto a sheet of parchment paper. Keep the other half wrapped in plastic and set it aside. Don't place it into the fridge. Place another sheet of parchment paper on top of the dough you're using. To get an even thickness, I'm placing 2 wooden rulers on each side of the dough. Then use a rolling pin to roll out the dough until it's about 1/4 inch thick. Then use a 1½ to 1¾ inch round cookie cutter to cut out all the cookies. Place the cutout cookies onto an ungreased sheet pan. You may need to use a thin metal scraper or spatula to lift the cookies off the paper without ruining the shape. Then bake them in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes until they're just starting to lightly brown around the edges. When they're done, remove them from the oven and let them cool on the pan for 2 minutes. Then transfer them to a cooling rack and let them cool completely. Then repeat that for the rest of the dough. You can gather up the remaining dough, roll it out again, and cut out more cookies. This recipe will make a little over 100 cookies. For the chocolate coating, add the chocolate of your choice into a heat-proof bowl. I'm using half milk and half dark. And add some coconut oil or shortening to thin out the chocolate so the coating isn't too thick on the cookies. If you're using coconut oil, make sure it's refined. Don't use unrefined or extra virgin because they have a strong coconut flavor which would give the chocolate a coconut flavor. Then heat it until the chocolate is melted. If you're using real chocolate which contains the ingredient cocoa butter, you need to temper it. It means you can only heat it to certain temperatures. If you heat it too hot, it goes out of temper and it's not going to set hard. It will stay very soft and will melt easily at room temperature, especially in your hand when you hold it. I have a video showing how to temper chocolate in 3 ways, and I'll link to it in the description box. Once it's melted and tempered if needed, check the consistency. If it's still a little thick, add in some more coconut oil or shortening. I melted it so it mixes in better. Try not to add too much or it will be too runny and it will run and drip everywhere. Then add in the raspberry extract and mix it in until combined. Then pick up each cookie and dip it into the melted chocolate. Shake it to get rid of any excess. And place it onto a sheet of parchment paper and let the chocolate set. Repeat that for the rest of the cookies. If the chocolate is getting too thick, you can heat it up to make it runny again. Don't heat it too hot if you're using real chocolate. You can leave them just like that if you like, or if you want the whole cookie covered in chocolate, then once the chocolate is set, pick up each cookie again and dip the other end into the chocolate and leave it to set. These will last in an airtight container for up to 1 week and possibly longer. They're even better the day after they're made. Since they're covered in chocolates, they won't go stale. You can even store them in the freezer for up to 6 months. And that's how to make Raspberry Rally Girl Scout cookies. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a like and check out my channel for many more videos and subscribe to my channel for more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.